Hey gang, hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm on my weekly video round. Thought I'd come out here and get a video of your new place. Looks like we've been busy. Got our roof finished. We'll see that. I'll do some of that on the back side, but we got the roof finished. And we got our windows in. So let's go check it out. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Also looks like we got a lot of rough-in done here in the house. Sorry about the wind on the microphone there. So here we got some MI windows, very good windows. I think you'll enjoy those. Give you a little something here. If you notice on the windows, you got this piece of tape right here, and that's flashed around the sill, around the wood, okay? And that keeps that wood dry. And on top of that, this is called the nail bed. When they actually use screws, from the old days, they call it a nail bed. And underneath that nail bed is a bead of caulk. All right, so that's the windows all caulked in, screwed in place, and then they flash tape over the top of that as well. Okay, so that'll all be flashed before they do the siding, okay? So that's kind of how that whole thing, so your house will be nice and tight and sealed up. Same thing with these, same kind of deal. Screws, caulk, that's all back in there. Okay, and that'll all be flashed. And then from the inside, you can kind of see how it all works. Now, if they got the windows in, they wrap that moisture barrier, wind barrier, all the way around, of course. And this is that sill. Remember, outside we saw that sill taped, flashed, wrapped, sealed. Okay, and then the windows also get in these cracks right here between the framing and the window. That'll get filled in with foam all the way around the windows, doors, all the openings. Okay, so those will all be filled in before they sheetrock. All right, we got our roughed-in plumbing. This is our ground rod. Okay, that goes down into your foundation, as we know. And that's for your entire house. This is your main line coming in off your meter can. So your grounds, that's the main ground of the house. That gets grounded to that rod right there, which is therefore grounds the house to the actual ground. There's your main line going all the way over to the garage where the breaker panel is. Okay. So we'll go over a couple of different types of wiring. You'll see white wire, you'll see yellow wire, different gauges. This is a 12-2 wire. This is a 14-2 wire, 20 amp circuit versus a 15 amp circuit. And what that means, and this is a 20 amp because this is a GFCI circuit. This is one of your bathrooms, this is your powder bath. It's a 12-2 wire, 12 being the gauge, the thickness of the wire that's in here. There's two conductors in each of these wires. There's a hot line, your black, a neutral, your white, and then a ground, which this ground eventually makes it to that ground over there, right, through the system. So that's called a 12-2 wire, 12 gauge, 2 wires with a ground, 12-2 with a ground, versus a 14-2 with a ground. Same thing as this, just 14, just a little thinner gauge. It's a 15 amp circuit versus a 20 amp. All GFCI circuits are usually, or not usually, but they are all 20 amp circuits. Okay, so you can see some of that down there for your dishwasher, your garbage disposal, down there in the island. Okay, 30 amp line there for the 220 line for cooking. Okay, same thing over there, 30 amp lines. Gas line coming in, they got the gas plumbed in. Okay, vent to the outside. So lots and lots been happening in here. And they don't have all the windows in because what happens is they actually load the sheetrock from a couple different points in the house. So they get most of the windows put in during that process. They load sheetrock and then they'll put in the rest of the windows and stuff. So it's kind of a multi-staged process. That's anything spectacular in here. We got our plumbing, we got our vent stacks, of course, going shoop up to that. They make their way, terminate at the roof. You see every window's flashed the same. You got the tape that wraps around the window. You got the moisture barrier that wraps inside the framing. So everything's done the same. Okay. Let's go out back and see if we can get a look at that roof for you. Here's your door sitting there waiting to go in. Let's come back here. We see on the roof? Yeah, probably over here on the side might be better because of the shape of it, the hip. I don't know if you can see it. Let me go step over on this next property here. There you go. Now you can see it. The sun doesn't get you. You see the off-ridge vent right there. There's going to be a couple of those on the house. It just keeps air moving through the attic space, comes off your soffit, up underneath your soffit right there, and then passively takes the heat out of the attic space as the air currents move. Helps keep your attic as cool as possible, and it also keeps it dry. You always want air movement, right? If you don't have air movement, you'll have moisture. Let's go upstairs, see what we got up there. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Windows, windows, windows. The view of your fountain. I think that's about the size of it. So that's very cool. So we're getting dried in, windows, roof. As soon as that's complete, they'll start insulating. Get the county has to approve all that. Get it all insulated before the sheetrock is up. That gets, and the insulation gets inspected, of course, as well. Then they sheetrock, and all that'll be done before. Here we go. And get a look at the backyard from up here again. Again, everything's identical, flashed in, wrapped. Okay. Pretty cool. Anyway, questions or comments, give me a call. We're here. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we do appreciate helping you. All right, thanks.